Hello everyone, welcome back to another stream on the channel. Game week 25, double game week 25, and some fixture announcements to go with it for game week 32. Of course, as usual, we'll discuss everything I can in terms of my chip strategy, how my team is looking, which is very well set up going into this game week. We'll quickly touch on my game week 24 team as well. Doing decently, back into the top 250k-ish, which is a decent rank. And thank you everyone for joining me on a Valentine's Day. Let me know in chat what you're doing for Valentine's Day, if you celebrate it, or if it's just one of those things that you take or leave, or maybe you don't even have you don't have a missus. So let me know what you're going after today, if you're not doing that. And of course, thank you for joining me for a deadline stream, and I'll keep you guys company. I don't know why I can't get this chat up. Give me 2 seconds. It is annoying me. But I hope everyone as well. So, hello CF, hello James. Come on, you Spurs. Well, we got Nidadeep, we got Perful, Oliver, we got Martin. Let me quickly go on to full screen before we go into some of our team and chip strategy. But yeah. Another great week last game week. Things actually worked out in my favour in terms of assistant manager on David Moyes. Very grateful for how it went, and it was a very exciting week. So I'm sure it was an exciting week for loads of people because a lot of people had over 100 points. And it was a good fun, even though it took, 2 weeks to finish the game week off. But nonetheless, we got there, and we go into 25 looking fairly well. So I hope everyone is well, and let's take a look at my team, even though you've probably already seen it. In front of you, I've got my team. For anyone that is listening or can't look at the screen, I'll read it out to you. So on goal, we've got Pickford, we've got Trent, Gabriel and Munoz at the back, we've got Rodgers, Salah, Trossard, Kluivert and Palmer, and 2 up top in Watkins and Gakpo. We have triple Liverpool and we have triple Aston Villa going into this game week. I've made 2 free transfers so far this week. Out of the 2 I had, I brought in Unai Emery for David Moyes, and I moved on, what's his name, Anthony Gordon for Leandro Trossard, which I thought was a great move. I suppose before I get on to my moves, why did I go early? So I really believe in Trossard as an asset, and I had no doubt in my mind that I wanted to bring him in. Again, it was a small bit early with the Gakpo injury news that we're after getting, but I saw no situation that I was going to get rid of any double game week players. It is a shame Gakpo picked up a knock. He could still play the first game against Wolves, but I think it's unlikely. So I think because I already have Watkins, I was going to hold on to him anyway. So I'm not actually too bothered. Unai Emery, this was always going to be the move from David Moyes. I knew last week it was either going to be Postecoglou if Spurs went through in the cup, or Emery if we lost, of course, and we did lose, which is no surprise. Good to see Danny B in chat. We got James who's smoking a blunt tonight. We have Danny B. We got Maury, Roger McSweeney. We got Sam Choi, my dad. We got Shelby. But yeah, so Gakpo getting injured is a shame. But to be honest, I don't mind holding on to him, even if it is for one fixture. My mic's stuttering. Can everyone confirm that my mic's stuttering? I don't know why it's doing that. If it is, it should be fine. I can see my chat bubble and I think it's okay. Does Gakpo start or not? So that's the thing. I think he should be fine for the second game for sure. Whether or not he's okay for the first game, I don't know, to be honest. I actually doubt it with him not being in training. But on that note, let me pick up the news for game week 22. Or 32, sorry. Why is this popping up on my screen? Get off. So, in front of you, I've got an image from FPL Focal. Absolute GOAT, by the way. Do follow Oscar. Thank you for letting me know that the mic is okay. But this is what you need to know for the fixtures going ahead. So, in game week 36, we expected a lot of doubles. And instead, what we got today is Crystal Palace and Newcastle going in game week 32 instead. In game week 29, we have 4 blanks. Aston Villa, Crystal Palace, Liverpool and Newcastle. And as you know, 2 of those teams double in game week 25. So this week, Villa and Liverpool, of course. And Newcastle's double is moving into game week 33 and game week 32. So Newcastle will have a double-double. Crystal Palace will have a double in 32. And we have a nice round of fixtures in game week 33. It's not confirmed. Things could still change depending on the FA Cup tie. But Villa are currently Dublin, Bournemouth, Ipswich, City, United and Newcastle. And a lot of these teams are the teams that are blanket in game week 29, like Villa, City, United and Newcastle. And that Bournemouth Ipswich one is the one I'm fairly sure that is not confirmed. So I'm sure you've already heard that from a different streamer. I don't think you need me to stay on this too much. But what does this mean? So for me, what this means is my chip strategy is fairly locked in. I'm going to go, I'm fairly sure, wildcard 30 or 31, triple captain 32, bench boost 33. Let me quickly show you the predicted. There you go. Bench boost 33 and free hit in blank game week 34. Again, a lot could still change between now and then. But I do think, on paper, this is probably the best strategy for me. And I really like it. Let me know what you think about that, or what strategy you're on, or if you have any other suggestions. But I think, in general, for how the fixtures have fallen, this is probably the best route to go for me. I'm actually really happy I used assistant manager last game week on David Moyes. Of course, have the double this week with Emery. And I suppose we should speak about Emery a small bit before we move on from. A lot of people were looking at Silva with Fulham to try to get table bonus, I believe. But I really like Emery for this double. It's similar to the Moyes one. And I do think Villa are a team who can come up with results in tough fixtures like Liverpool at home. Again, Liverpool are by far the best team in the league. But we can see that they can drop points like last week, like they did against Everton. And I'm quite hopeful with Emery and triple Villa, to be honest. I have to be. It is a bit copium, and the fixtures have fallen very well for me. But currently sitting at 250k in the world, I think we're actually in a really, really good spot. Again, there are a lot of managers out there who are at a higher rank than me. But if I consider how my season has went in terms of bringing in Haaland and him doing very poorly, and me being generally happy with a lot of the moves I made this season so far, I mean, I'm happy with where we are, and we still have a triple captaincy to play in game week 32. And I imagine that would bump us up at least 50k places. So we got the assistant manager chip this week. What I would say to those that have all their chips left is definitely play one this game week. I don't think you have enough game weeks to use the rest of them in doubles, so I would definitely try play one this week, whether that's your triple captain or your assistant manager. Parfool says, try the FPL GOAT. Any news on Eze? Eze is back training, I believe. Really considering Wissa in for Gakpo and slot in for Moyes. Yeah, I don't mind that move, Kimmy. I much prefer to use my transfers elsewhere, though. Who are you planning triple captain in 32? I would say Alexander Isak. Sally Z says, hello Choi. Isak to Watkins plus Emery, or Gakpo to Wissa plus slot. I have Mbuemo. I actually prefer Isak and Watkins, to be honest, and really attacking the double game week. Gordon Cliver, play Pedro, Elanga or Robinson. Gordon Cliver, that's definitely a good move. Pedro, Elanga or Robinson. I have to say Pedro. Pedro loves scoring against London teams. Whether or not he's going to start or not, I can't tell you, but I think if I was in that boat, I would definitely be starting Pedro for sure. Who do I bench out? Mateta, Mbuemo, Gakpo, Isak. I think I'll be benching Gakpo at this point, assuming he only gets the Villa game. Liam says, hey Chow, would you do Murphy to Bournemouth mid for a -4 or just play Murphy or Elanga? I would just play Murphy or Elanga, personally. What are your top strikers this week, FPL Chow? For me, Watkins, for sure. The striker position is actually really, really lacking. Watkins is up there. Erling Haaland, I suppose. They're not really great options at all. Of course, Jackson's out now. No striker for Arsenal. I would say, if you can get to a Trossard who's a midfielder, I really like the idea of Trossard, lads. And I don't know if he's one that's being talked about too much. I hope he's not, because I really think that he could do very well against Leicester. Connor says, hi Choi, Gakpo to Wissa, Moyes to Slot, or B, Gakpo to Watkins, Moyes to Emery. I prefer option B, Gakpo to Watkins, Moyes to Emery. Start Gakpo or Isaac. I think if I had Isaac, I'd just play him personally. Again, I'm only starting Gakpo because of the off chance he does get the Wolves game. But not being spotted in training is never a good look. Who would you bench, Gakpo or Ahmed? I'll be benching Ahmed. I would just start Gakpo in that case. Best striker to bring in now for game week 29. Yeah, that's tough. I've got no playing striker currently. But for game week 29... we're not exactly spoiled for choice, are we? Let me bring up the transfer page real quick. Let's look at some of these options, even though it's skimpy. Let's have a look. Game week 29. Mateus Cunha is probably our best bet. He has some really good fixtures coming up. Other than that, it's fairly cat, I have to say. Any other Villa midfielders instead of Rodgers? I suppose maybe Jacob Ramsey. He's your only other option, but I don't know how his minutes look. Hi, Clever became a father. Hope he doesn't celebrate too much. Just transfer him in, says Mitch. Nah, he'd be fine to play, I imagine. Do I do Isaac to Watkins for a -4? I actually don't like that move because one of the fixtures is Liverpool at home, of course. For a -4, it just doesn't seem worth it, especially if you look to hold on to Isaac for the double game weeks coming up. Again, double, so a lot of people have value tied up in Isaac. I'm fortunately in a decent position where I don't own him, which in this case is actually good because I've got Watkins. Hello, Chai. For a -8, Ahmed to Kluivert, Moyes to Emery and bench Wood, or just do a -4 to Emery and Hope. I would just do a -4 to Emery and Hope. Champions Collide says, yes, big man Chai. Hope you're good. I'm all good. Thank you for joining me again. Nico Williams versus Castagna. I need to start one. Who would you pick? Nico Williams versus Castagna. I would pick Castagna. I've 0 free transfers and 3.4 million in the bank. Who should I prioritize selling? Gordon, Bruno, Enjoy, or Konsa? I would say prioritize Gordon. It really depends on what you're doing for the blank though. Like, I know I don't plan on free hitting. I'm trying to keep myself as flexible as possible. I could still end up free hitting in 29, but I don't plan on it. And I want to leave my team as flexible as possible for it. Okay. Let me quickly bring up a Rob T graphic. Whenever I see Nico Williams, I always think of the Spanish one. Yeah, me too. It takes me a second to realize. Okay, let's quickly bring up Rob T. Anish, our channel member, sends us 10 QAR. Thank you, Anish. I really appreciate you. He says, Choi, play Wood or Isaac, and Dubravka or Pickford. Anish, I think for me, I would be playing Isaac for sure, and I would also be playing. I would be playing Pickford without a doubt. Pickford's usually decent for save points as well. So in front of you, again, thank you for that, Anish. In front of you, I've got Rob T's projected goals and clean sheet odds. I suppose we'll start with Brighton and Chelsea. Of course, the news of Gay and Jackson being out now will probably leave Nkunku up top for Chelsea, which is interesting. Maybe he'll become an option in FPL again. But yeah, it's going to be a tight game, I think, that Brighton versus Chelsea game. Next, we've got the first game for Aston Villa this game week, and they're projected to do very, very well. 40% clean sheet odds, which is unbelievable, especially if you are considering an Emery. Yeah, you really fancy Villa. I think I trust Unai Emery as a manager in general. Never mind just Villa. So I do think this is a good opportunity for the assistant managership. And again, delighted with the points I got last week from Moyes. I think anything from a win versus Ipswich I'll take. To be honest, I don't expect anything versus Liverpool, but I do think there is a good chance if we go down to that Liverpool game. Again, the odds are stacked against Villa, of course, but it is a home fixture at Villa Park, so you never know. And I feel like personally, Unai Emery is quite good in some of these bigger games. So let's see what happens. The next game is, of course, City versus Newcastle, which on paper is a bit tighter than I expected it to be, odds-wise from this graphic. City expect to score 2 goals and Newcastle expect to score 1.5, but you would expect City to win this, in my opinion, even with how poor they've been in recent weeks. Next, we got West Ham versus Brentford. A lot of Mbeumo owners. A lot of people looking to bring in Wissa as well. To be honest, I much prefer the Bournemouth assets going forward. Rather than bringing in a Wissa or a Mbeumo. You know, the only thing going against that is, of course, Bournemouth actually don't have a forward in the game. Of course, the only forward out of those two is Wissa. So, I can understand if you are going with Wissa. Next is the Liverpool game at home versus Wolves. It is a really good opportunity to triple captain Mo Salah, of course, if you still have it. By the way, I don't know what to make of last week with the triple captain versus assistant manager. I actually don't think you can say that triple captain has won, because the assistant managership lasts over 3 game weeks, and I think we got a really nice haul in that first game week. And also, you only get 1/3 of the actual points that the captain gets, so who knows, maybe if Emery does really well this week, it ends up being that assistant manager won. So I'm actually really happy with how the assistant manager has went so far, and I know it's only been 1 game week, but it looks good going into this game week for sure. Before we move on, let me answer some of your questions. Do you think Matoma is a good option next week? I want to say no. Mikalenko or João Pedro? João Pedro for sure. Best Bournemouth player to get? By far Kluivert still, because he has penalties. Ahmed to Kluivert for a -4? No. Danny B says, play the assistant managership or hold. Have a spot for slot. Just sold Gakpo to Watkins. That is a tough question to answer, Danny B. I think I would hold it for the new Newcastle double-double. So let's get back to the graphic. Leicester versus Arsenal. Arsenal expected nearly 50% clean sheet odds, which is unreal for a away fixture. And I have Leandro Trossard for this fixture, who I think could do very well. Next is Fulham Forest, where a lot of people will have the likes of a Chris Wood. To be honest, I would be looking to get rid of a Chris Wood, even though there's not many strikers left. I think that boat has now sailed. You could definitely hold on to him. He's definitely a player who can come up with goals in these games coming up, but for me, I'd be looking to offload him for sure. Southampton and Bournemouth with Kluivert, who's recently had a kid. I do think Kluivert in this fixture is really, really nice, especially with the form Dango Atara has been in as well. If you have him, he looks really good, but definitely Kluivert is the pick out of the bunch for me. Crystal Palace versus Everton. 42% clean sheet chance, which I love, as I have Daniel Munoz, who has been a really good asset in recent weeks. Everton, of course, off the back of a really good draw against Liverpool. So you'd imagine that they'd be well up for this fixture, but still, Crystal Palace do look a bit better in recent weeks, and Mateta is a man on form, and so is Daniel Munoz. So great to hear that Eze is also back in training, along with Sarr. And then the next game of the week is, of course, Tottenham versus Man United. So, on Sunday, it is FPL Chai's birthday, so I'll be celebrating this game and watching it in a hotel. I'm being taken away to a hotel by my missus, so it's going to be interesting to watch that game. I am hopeful of a Spurs win, but I do think it'll be quite tight with how bad Spurs have been in recent weeks. Also, just a note on Spurs, looks like we have a few players back in training, like Timo Werner, Brennan Johnson. We also have Odobert back on grass, but I don't expect him to be back anytime soon. But yeah, hopefully some more good news for Spurs. And on Sunday, I'll also be doing a stream on Fantasy Football Scout, I believe. So please do join me on my birthday in a hotel on Sunday. Be looking forward to seeing you all. And do me a favor, hit that like button while you're here on our stream. It really gets us out there. So looking forward to Sunday. Sorry for the sad birthday. Hopefully we get a big win. I'll be drinking as well. So let's see. Put your predictions in chat on what you think the score is going to be. I'm going to say a Spurs win. I'm going to say 2-1 Spurs. Yeah, still no Mickey van de Ven, unfortunately. Go Shorty. Derek O'Reilly says easy win. Come on, you Spurs. Love to see it, Derek. And thank you for joining I can't speak. Thank you for joining me for another stream. Yeah, I'm really tired. It's unusual to do 5 p.m. streams. I was in college today, and then I got the stream ready, had a look at my own team and what I want to do. And thank you everyone in chat for the early birthday wishes. I do appreciate you. But yeah, let me get back to my own team and speak about my own team, about how we look going forward. Quickly though, Robert Zahari says Kluivert just became a dad. What's his track record for new dads? I would say he's fine. Usually it's when on the day is when you have to be a bit more worried, but I would definitely expect him to play, and if anything he'll want to score a goal for his new child. Okay, this is my team in front of you. I'm going to bring up my team on FPL team. I want to show you visually what I've done this week. So, Emery did indeed come in for David Moyes, and Trossard came in for Gordon. Kieran, FPL Discomfort, let me know what you think about those moves that I've done. I really like them personally. And this is how the team shapes up. So, expected nearly 100 points this game week. I do think, and I am hopeful, that it will be another green arrow for me this week. I'd love to get into the 100k ranks. Again, I would like to be 125k, which is asking a lot. I really need a massive week, which would be Watkins / Emery doing well, which I wouldn't write off being plausible to happen. So let's see. But yeah, I think if you look at how the fixtures have rolled out for my team, of course, owning Watkins, very fortunate. 6 doublers going into the week. Double Arsenal versus Leicester. Kluivert with Southampton. Palmer versus a leaky Brighton. Munoz versus a very poor Everton. I think it's quite hopeful for this game week. And I'm thinking surely it's going to be a green arrow. Hopefully we break into the top 125k. Again, it's asking a lot. And then next week we have a big decision to make. Whether or not we want to hold on to good evening Unai Emery, or we want to just roll the transfer and stick with the triple Villa. Again, I don't love it. I think it's good to count that Chelsea are without a striker now, and they're going to have to change how they play. But this is how the team looks going into game week 26. I'll be looking to try hold as many transfers as possible for sure. If I go to game week 29, and I know I'm looking very much so in the future, let's just say we roll until then. But I can definitely get through this game week without using the free hit chip. Again, I have 4 transfers to use between now and then. And to be honest, I'll probably be looking to offload Mo Salah to try bring in Erling Haaland for the time being. It's going to be interesting to see how a lot of people play out the second half of the season. As you can see, City do have a lovely fixture in game week 30 versus Leicester, and they have a really nice double with Everton and Villa, who I will looking to be captain, and I will be looking to captain a City asset in that week for sure. And of course, United also have a really nice double. But yeah, that's how the team looks going forward. I think it's really well set up. And I'm actually going to cry if I don't get a double. 6 doublers going into the week. And worst case scenario, Watkins and Gakpo are dropped for the first game. Of course, fortunate with how the double has fallen for me, but I mean, unfortunate if both of those guys are out. So let me get to some of your questions again. Imagine Ipswich win. Yeah, I mean, anything is possible. A lot of fixture congestion for Villa as well. Umara says, hello Chai, the FPL differential GOAT. I have Bruno since game week 1. Thoughts on Bruno to Kluivert with 1 free transfer? I like that move for sure. Thoughts on Mamouche? I don't mind him, but I don't love him at the same time. If you said Kluivert and Emery in, I don't love or hate it, but also I've done it. Team overall looks incredible though. Kieran, the move this week was Trossard for me. Trossard for Gordon. How we doing, Choi? Says Johnny. I'm good, Johnny. Thank you for asking. Trying to decide what to do with Gakpo. I saw House at Gordon trained. I was tempted to transfer Gordon for a Bournemouth mid to bring in Unai. What are your thoughts? Yeah, no, I really like that. I think I don't mind bringing Gordon out To be honest, wildcarding in 30 or 31 with triple Newcastle is probably the plan for me. Choi, any news on Trent? He'll be fine, I imagine. He got 30 minutes in the last fixture. Thoughts on Dargu? I really like him for sure. I think Clever is a better pick though. Yeah. I have 2 free transfers. What should I do? Bruno to Clever and Enjoy to Mateta / Wissa. I don't love bringing in Mateta, to be honest. Bruno to Clever isn't bad. It really depends on what you're doing to 29 though. It feels a bit sideways. Trossard is a fine punt. I have no idea who gets attacking returns, but think defense becomes incredibly strong and maybe back to set piece nation. I would agree with that, Kieran. You definitely have to play change the way you play. One transfer, Trossard or Bournemouth midfielder for Sarr. I would go Trossard. I love Trossard. I think it needs to be a bit more spoken about him. I think he could go very well this game week. For anyone that's just joined us or hasn't seen my post on Twitter, in front of you I have my chip strategy and what I'm planning to do. Game week 31 wildcard, triple captain 32 on Isaac, bench boost 33 with United, Newcastle, who else is doubling? City. Really like that. And then free hit 34 where all the teams in 33 that double blank. My mini league rival doesn't have Wood. Tempted to bring him in because of that, and he doesn't blank in 29. Seems silly because of the fixtures. No, I wouldn't try to make up points with Chris Wood personally. I do think the boat was passed. I wouldn't worry about too much who other people have. I would just go with who you think can do well. HI starting Buemo or Gakpo? I think I would just start Gakpo. Shaq says, got all the chips to play. When to play triple captain? Game week 25 on Salah or 32 on Isaac? The new double 32 has confused things for now. I think I would play the triple captain on Salah this game week. And I would use the assistant manager chip on Newcastle for the double-double. When I'd bench boost, I don't know. But you'd probably want to get the double-double on Newcastle. You'd much prefer that. Play Lewis or Tarkovsky? Lewis. I can do Sarr to Kluivert. Ramsey, Tielemans, Nkunku or Rogers. Or Roll. Sarr to Kluivert looks solid, Lewis. Chai, I need your help. Watkins plus Eaton and Wari or Nunes plus Rogers. Watkins and Nwari, without a doubt. Start Hoisin and Kepa or Pickford and Munoz. I would start Munoz and Pickford, I think. Who do you think I should bench? Let me bring back up my team, by the way. And we'll do a little scroll on Twitter after this. Gordon the Clever, yes. Who should replace Lewis or Konsa for Kirkes? I would hold on to Lewis for the time being, to be honest. Play Dango over Gakpo? No, I would just play Gakpo. Again, that might sound a bit mad, but that's what I would do. Okay, let's have a little scroll on Twitter. Let's see what's going on. I feel really good about Aston Villa this game week. I agree. I would agree with that for sure. Chai mate, would you do Gakpo to Kuna for game week 29 and bring in Salah, says Oscar. I actually don't mind those moves at all. Ahmed says you skipped over my question. Let me go find it. 2 seconds. I skipped over your question, Ahmed. Who do you think I should bench out of Isaac, Mateta, Mbeumo and Gakpo? I would bench Mateta. I believe it would be Mateta. Hi, choice Sanchez, Kepa or Henderson? Hi, choice start Isaac or Wood? Isaac. Who to drop? Isaac, Wood, Mateta, Ahmed or Trossard, says Peter. I would be benching Wood. Sorry guys, just having a look at this predicted lineup from FPL Villain. 70% chance of Watkins he has. Nice X feed, Chai. Thank you, Kieran. I appreciate you. Captain Allison or Trent, Chai? Trent, I guess. Shaq says, we'll leave triple captain active on Salah. I got a benching dilemma too. Benching Mbuemo and Wood, work benching Gakpo and avoid benching Headache, or leave him in the starting 11 and hope for the best. I would personally just start Gakpo, I believe. So yeah, Jacob Ramsey is the other potential player you could go with. What else we got on Twitter? Let's keep looking. Please load. Okay, it looks like my Twitter is not Twitter. Let me bring back up my team. Bench Bruno or Dango? Bruno. Should I sell Gordon for Cliver and Ndiaye for Wissa for a -4? I don't mind Gordon to Cliver. Ndiaye for Wissa I don't love unless you're struggling for 11. Best defender under 4.6 mil, not Bournemouth. Best defender under 4.6 million. Maybe Hoisin. Shax says, appreciate the feedback. No worry, Shax. 125 people in here and an hour until the deadline. Do me a favor and hit that like and subscribe. I do appreciate you all. Sorry if I'm a bit sluggish today on this stream and struggling to speak. I am fairly tired. I have a bit of a food coma. But yeah, do forgive me and let me know what you're doing for Valentine's Day. I don't think we got much feedback. A lot of people are just relaxing at home, which is understandable. Predictions for Spurs versus United. I think a Spurs win personally. Like we have seen in the last 2 times this season. Should I sell Gordon? I answered that already. Ahmed to Dango for a -4? No, I want to say. Probably not worth. I'm struggling with my team about what I'm going to do next game week with the assistant manager. Don't know if it's worth moving Emery. I suppose if Emery loses both games this week, he could potentially have a table bonus against Chelsea. But other than that, I mean, I'm probably better off moving him on. And the man I want to move him on to is still Ange Postecoglou with Ipswich at home. I love the idea of it. Whether or not I do it or not, I'm unsure. Blowing up heart balloons at the moment, mate, says Oscar. Absolutely hating these past 10 minutes. It'll be worth it in the end, Oscar. Hold the faith. Stay strong, my brother. Why not Areola? The next 2 game weeks instead of Emery. 2 easy games, 1 easy plus 2 hard. I don't believe in Bournemouth like that. I'd rather chase the upside in a double, to be honest. You got a nice drone behind you, I see. Let me look at this drone. Let me quickly. Can I zoom in on that? I can't. Let me bring it over. 2 seconds. This is actually a painting, not a drone. I am terrible at painting, by the way. But you can't really see it because the green screen effect that's on. But basically, it's me and basically a nephew in the mountains. If anyone can paint and wants to finish that painting for me, I'd really appreciate it because I can't be arsed painting. And I'm so bad, so it's not very motivating for me to do. But yeah, that's what that painting was in the background. Let me quickly fix that timer. 57 minutes until the deadline. But yeah, I really wanted to get into painting. I feel like on the inside I'm artistic. I've just never actually went about drawing or doing any painting, so that's why I was so interested in doing it. Yeah, anyone want to buy it from me? Roger McSweeney says 500 for it. I'll take it in a heartbeat. Drop Rogers, Ahmed or Wood. I would drop Ahmed for sure. Without a doubt. That's good. I don't know. It's midi. Oh, not Bournemouth. Sorry, I read that wrong. Not Hoisin because he plays for Bournemouth. Under 4.6 million. Best under 4.6 million. You know what? Maybe someone from Brighton. I'm going to say a Brighton asset because they have a nice fixture this week. They have a good fixture in 29. Should I start Wood or Dango? Dango. Wood to Watkins for a -4. That I don't mind, to be honest. If I had to get out one of Gakpo and Gordon to allow me to bring in Emery, who would you do? And for who? Thanks, Shy. I love the content. No worries, Zane. Gakpo or Gordon to allow me to get Emery. I would say Gordon. I would just hold Gakpo for the aesthetic of the double game week, to be honest. It pains me to get rid of an asset with a double game week. Bro, looks amazing. Good for you. Thank you. Who are you triple captaining? Isaac in game week 32, it looks like. Great stream as usual. Bench one of. Hit me, Nathan. Hit me. Bench one of. Bench one, Gakpo, Manoz, Kirkez. Sean says, well, choice. Some result for Big Moyes. I do think Gakpo starts this weekend. Also, let's go Emery. Do you think Gakpo starts this weekend? No, I don't. And thank you, Sean. And I'm absolutely buzzing to own Emery, to be honest. I actually like the system manager chip. I like the effect it's had. But to be honest, I think it could have been done a bit better, if that makes sense. Okay, let's go on Twitter again for a cheeky little scroll. My camera is not centered and it's really annoying me. Hopefully that's a bit better. Andy Mode is locked in. He's got Isaac, Raul. That's an interesting team. Who else we got? Gianni Battici is also streaming. Who is the game today, actually? Why don't I know this? The game today is Chelsea-Brighton, 8 o'clock. Don't know if I'll watch that. 8 o'clock. Then tomorrow's early kickoff is Arsenal-Leicester, which is deadly because, like I said, Trossard is definitely exciting to own for that early fixture. How come nobody's looking at Marco Silva for assistant manager? Massive potential for points there, says Zane. Yeah, that's one that I got asked earlier from Kieran, and he was suggesting Silva as well. You know what? I don't mind it. I just think there's so much more upside going for Unai Emery. That's where I'm at. I haven't even considered a Silva. I think backing a Fulham manager over a double game week is just not for me. Like, for example... Yeah, no, I'm not even going to give an example. I'm not going to try to overthink it. Would you use your assistant manager this week? No, I would save it for Newcastle at this stage. Valentine, so can't watch the football. I'm in the same boat. Hudaboy, Mbuemo, Semenyo, Osara, thanks. Semenyo. Enjoy Bruno out for Inyari plus Watkins. I do like those moves. I'll prefer Cliver if you can get there. If not, it's all good. Hi, would you use your only free transfers to do Murphy to Malin or Dango or Onwari to bench Wissa? I'd like to go Dango, personally, I think. Would you do Gakpo to Darwin? No, I wouldn't. You reckon Gakpo, Wissa and Slot is better than Gordon to Rodgers and Emery? No, Gordon to Rodgers and Emery is probably better. CF says, Gakpo, Gordon, Moyes to Mateta, Trossard and Slot -8. Really want to bring in Slot this game week. I think that is a lot. Gakpo, Gordon, Moyes out. I think I would just do Trossard and Slot if you can. Oh, you have to get rid of Gakpo to fund it. Trossard and Emery maybe. Isaac or Gakpo this week? Gakpo. Off the odd chance he does get the game on Sunday. Should I triple captain Salah this week? Yes. Yes, I want to say. Is it worth tripling captain Salah? I have money on the line. I'm sure a lot of us actually have money on the line. It's mad the amount of people who play for money every single season. I don't think Gakpo is going to start this weekend. I'll be honest, straight up. I'm still going to hold on to him though because I think he'll get Villa. Should I be focusing on getting rid of people in game week 29, especially if I'll probably bring back Newcastle boys in 31? Yes, so that's what I want to make clear. I am not going to bring in anyone that is going to blank in game week 29. That's the first thing. Any move that does that feels a bit sideways to me. So that's why I went and brought in Trossard, because he does play in game week 29. Again, depends who's back for Arsenal, but you'd imagine Trossard will still be in the team. Zane says he likes my hoodie X. Thank you. I wore it just for Valentine's Day. It's got a little love heart on it. But yeah, I don't think bringing any assets in that are blanket in 29 is worth it, unless you know you're going to free hit in 29, which I don't think is worth it. So like I said, if I go to how my team looks in 29, I'll have 4 free transfers, 3 places to move on. In game week 31, we'll be looking at a wild card, even though I'm actually well set up for 31. 32, we've got the double. And I need to wildcard because I have no assets from Newcastle currently. Alright, let's go back on Twitter. Where are we? Hello, shall I start one of Mbeumo, Wood, or Gakpo? Start one. Probably Gakpo. I will still keep it on Gakpo. Who to bench? Mbeumo, Isaac, or Eze? I'll be benching Eze. He's back in training, but I don't know if he's going to start. My feed is just full of Valentine's Day. Stop it. Double game week. It's mad the amount of news that Kluivert is having a child due to Andy Martin. What a legend. Shout out Andy Martin. Okay. Who to bench him? Mbeumo, Isaac, or Eze? Like I said, Eze. Keep Slot next week versus City. Wondering if I should roll. I think I'd get rid of Slot next week versus City. It's a bit... I don't know. I would like to mix it up with a Postecoglou, like I said. Elanga for Kluivert. Yes. Bench Isaac or Wood. Isaac or Wood? I would bench Wood easily. Isaac can easily score against City. Thoughts on Bogard for Aston Villa? He is getting minutes recently. I don't love it, to be honest. Who to bench in Mbeumo, Wood, or Gakpo? Wood. Sub Bruno to replace Gakpo or take a hit and go Mateta. Sub Bruno to replace Gakpo or take a hit and go Mateta. I would just sub Bruno, to be honest. It's not worth taking a hit from Mateta who blanks in game week 29. I'm absolutely roasting. Let me open this window. Get your questions in, lads. Get all your questions in. I'll try to answer as many as possible. Thoughts on Gakpo to Watkins for a hit? Now, I don't love that, Liam, to be honest. Don't love it. Time to sell Palmer? No, Jonathan. I wouldn't be looking at that just yet, I don't think. Start Wood or Kulusevski? Start Kulusevski. No bias at all there. Bench one of Isaac or Palmer. Be benching Isaac. Palmer could play the 9 tonight, absolutely. Another reason why I think I could be on for a green arrow this week. If I look at the rank threats in recent weeks, who have they been? The main rank threats for me has been Alexander Isak, of course. But this week he plays City away, which is very difficult in my opinion. Even though they've been so poor. Chris Wood, who plays against Fulham, which is a tough game. Lewis Hall, of course, like I said, with City. So, and in comparison, I've got Watkins, which a lot of people don't have. So, I do think is a good opportunity for a green arrow. Tav says, great stream choice as usual. Take a -4 for Watkins to Gakpo. I don't think it's worth it, no. Andy Martin mudded when Kluivert scores and does the Tom Suck baby celebration. I think he will, to be honest. I wouldn't be surprised. If assistant manager on 32, when will you bench boost? That's a good question. And I don't have an answer for you because I haven't thought about it. I only know what I'm going to do, and I know it sounds selfish, but I think the best time to bench boost would be in a single after you wildcard. So it really depends when you want a wildcard. Take a hit for Watkins plus an Nwari. Yes. I probably would take a hit for that pair. Sar, Ahmed or Aina to start. It's my last decision. Ahmed. Ahmed. Anyone that's not using a chip this week, I would say you're likely going to get a red arrow. So many people using the system manager, triple captain. Yeah. What are your minutes prediction on Gakpo? Probably 80 against Villa. Again, doesn't sound great, but that's just me being honest. Bench Wood or Gordon? I would bench Wood. Okay, let me bring back up my team. What we'll do is, let's try plan my future game weeks. I don't know if anyone is interested in that, but maybe give you some of my thought process. So, like I said, game week 25 already made my 2 moves. Game week 26, bring in Postecoglou for that Ipswich game. Sounds a bit mad, but I just like the idea of it. Game week 27, roll. This is how we look for 27. I think it's actually decent. Game week 28, I'd like to think I can roll again. Again, it really depends on how we feel on Villa, but I think it looks really good on paper. Game week 29, like I said, is where we have the 3 free transfers and I need to make moves. So, for me, I'll be knocking down a Mo Salah, for sure. To who? I don't know. I'm probably thinking Foden, if possible. I love the idea of going triple City. Let me throw this in and show you what it looks like. Oh shit, I didn't mean to do that. Undo. For Watkins, we go Haaland. And then we have another move to make, which would probably be Gakpo down to a 7.3. Or even Trent. Gakpo or Trent. I think it could potentially be Trent down. Again, probably sounds crazy right now because all the doubles Liverpool have, but I do think we'll want to bring in the City assets eventually. So that's how I could potentially look in game week 29. What about lost value on Salah? I don't actually mind it, to be honest. I think there's a lot of value in trying to play your chips right, even if you are going to lose value. Then in game week 30, this is how I look. Why I want to triple up on the City boys is because, again, they play Leicester at home in 30. And that's why I don't think I'd wildcard. Try survive a week without Salah, which it is possible, but it's going to be tough. But my team on paper is really, really nice for 30, in my opinion. Looks something like that. Maybe you'd start Rodgers instead of Pedro, but other than that, that's how it look. And then in game week 31, like I said, I'd have 2 free transfers. It looks a bit rougher here, but I would hit the wildcard button. Again, I'm not going to do a wildcard on stream, but a lot of the moves I'd be looking to make would for sure be a Jean-Philippe Mateta, a triple up on the Newcastle. So Alexander Isak, Hall and Gordon with that Leicester fixture. Even potentially bringing a Bruno and hold on to the City guys for the double in 30 and 34. I mean 33, sorry. So let's say we wildcard in 31. We triple captain. So let me just... Sorry, I know I'm kind of going sideways here. let's just say Isaac, for the time being, is here. We go into game week 32. We do hit the triple captain on Alexander Isaac. We go into the game week 33, and we're going to try field as many doublers as possible and bench boost. And in game week 34, then we use our free hit, because a lot of our players will be blanking. And in 35, I'll come out with a fresh team, and I'll have transfers to work with. So yeah, that's probably hard to keep up with, but a very exciting end to the season it's going to be. I'm sure right now it is fairly confusing, but again, the idea is there. And a lot of people will have different routes because, you know, a lot of people haven't played assistant manager. People are using triple captain elsewhere. But yeah, it should be fun. I am definitely doing things a bit different. Hopefully, we can get into the top 100k by the end of our chip strat. Free transfer Emery or sell Gakpo for a -4 for slot. Free transfer Emery for sure. Dango or Trossard? Trossard. Which one should I bench here? Semenyo, Bruno, or Wissa? I would bench Wissa. Sergio Pedro or Ahmed? My team's a mess right now. I would Sergio Pedro. I don't know why, but I'm so tired. Callum Wilson for the double, says Kieran. Imagine. Callum Wilson. FPL heritage. Why not captain, or why not do Gakpo, Watkins, Palmer to Foden, Haaland, Kuna and 29 and keep Salah? I could do that alternatively, sure. Again, I don't know if there's enough funds to do that, but that definitely sounds good. Sushant. Love that. Okay, let's do a little scroll on Twitter again. Let's say Gakpo misses Wolves but plays against Villa. What do you reckon? Sub Bruno or hold Gakpo for Villa? Hold Gakpo for Villa. Guys, I kind of don't feel great. I might go and take a nap and end the stream early at 6 o'clock. I don't know why. I just feel so tired. We'll see how we're feeling in about 10 minutes, but I don't feel great. Anyway, we'll carry on for the time being. Do me a favor, hit that like button if you do enjoy the stream. What did Andy Martin do? 3 free transfers used. David Moyes to Emery, Davis to Minoz, and Gordon to Dango. Full steam ahead for free hit 29 and optimal game week 28. That's interesting that he's doing that. I'm not seeing a lot of free hit 29s. I wonder what will come out victorious. Okay, not on the timeline. Thanks for... No worries at all. Sell Eze to Trossard for a -4. Eze to Trossard for a -4. Eze to Trossard for a -4. No, I don't think so, Baki. Cheers, Roger. Appreciate you. Gabriel or Mikalenko on the bench? Mikalenko for sure. That's not even a question. Isaac to Watkins free transfer? No, I don't think so. Okay, I'm gonna wrap up the stream here. I'm gonna take a nap. I'm absolutely roasting. I feel like I have a temperature or something. But yeah, thank you for joining me for another deadline stream. Sorry I have to end it early. Let me bring up full screen real quick. Again, probably just tired. Not used to doing this time. But I just don't feel great. So, thank you again, everyone, for joining me. Best of luck this game week. As usual, have a good Valentine's Day, and I will see you on Sunday for a stream on Fantasy Football Scout. Be sure to join me on my birthday on Sunday. And best of luck this game week. So, as usual, hit that like button before you go, and